So let us begin. Thank you for coming to this Zoom session once again. I think you all have all attended the earlier sessions by the majors, right? So you have a good idea of how to go about the what do you call that module or course bidding systems and how to register for courses, what are the courses that you take. Right, so now we'll do the SPS session. So SPS is not a department by ourselves, okay, but a program within these within the Faculty of Science, right? So this is the agenda for today. Right, so on behalf of our director, who is, I don't know, on the plane or climbing some mountain, right? This is his natural habitat, right? Which we all wish to be in his shoes, right? So on behalf of him, welcome to SPS, welcome to NUS, right, and CHS. So, yeah, pop quiz. What is SPS? What does SPS stands for? Yeah, I would say that the closest to this is Singapore Prison Service. Or single prolonged stress. Right. Okay, so SBS is the oldest integrated program, right, in NUS, right? They set up in 1996. How many years ago? Like 28 years ago, right? Right. And the setup of this program, this program was set up by our then science dean, but currently the president of NUS, Professor Tan Lin Chai. So he set up this program so that we can have a conducive environment to nurture students who are passionate to become scientists of the future. Right? And we survived quite some time, right? And through these numbers of years, the program has grown, right, to have more courses and more more people as well, right? And yeah. So let us, if you have not attended previous talks, all right, then you'll see something new today. But if you have attended previous talk, most of it is about the same as what you have saw earlier, right? So I'm going to present to you, right, what are some reasons, okay, that makes SPS special and why you may want to join us, right? Okay, firstly, right, and most importantly, right, SPS is not just an academic program, right? It is a community, okay, where we have a group of students, staffs, and senior and junior students, and even graduate students, right, as well as staffs who share this common goal of having a passion in science and want to excel, right, in science. And this community of people comes from a diverse background, right? All in science, but in various disciplines, right? As you can see over here, these are some of our alumni, right? They all look very happy. I think they are in a cafe in Malacca, right? Very happy faces. This was one of their mini grad trips, right? And then they come from various places, right? And yeah, why didn't I thought we had their nationalities. Okay, never mind. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. So sorry. Nationalities is the other side. Right. This one, okay, they come from various academic backgrounds, right? Some from chemistry, biology, and physics as well. Right. And for the staffs, we also have a wide range of disciplines, right? Myself, I'm come from physics and mathematics. Okay, Dr. Shamika also comes from physics. Right? Dr. Linda is French and did chemistry for a PhD. Right? Our director and Dr. Liu, both Dr. Liu's, right? They are one is from Taiwan and one from Singapore, right? They are both biologists, right? And for our teaching assistants, okay, we have one from biology. Chion is from biology, and Bijaya is from physics, and he's a Nepalese. So a very wide, diverse background. Right, then we are basically an academic program, right? So we have courses, right, that are embedded within our program itself. Okay, so we have a huge community as well as courses, right? And these courses, right, are not focused on a single discipline. Okay, they are uh, interdisciplinary, right? And we will talk more about a little bit more about these courses later, but this is just a little preview, right? So for example, right, in the course that is called the cell, oh, so no, now the program has grown, the course name is slightly longer, engineering a life like cell, right? Okay, so we don't only talk, of course, the cell is biology related, right? But we do not only discuss aspects of the cell from the biological viewpoint, right? We also look into the the biomechanics or biophysical parts of it, right? What do we mean by having a working cell? How do we reconstruct a working cell from basic principles, right? A lot of statistics, a lot of physical knowledge, some coding is being involved in this course called engineering a life like cell, right? And for that we have our course called The Earth, right? Taught by Dr. Linda. And of course, the Earth is a very, very interdisciplinary course, right? And we have, for myself, I teach a course called The Universe, right? And this little video that you see over here, right, is a simulation of a three-body problem. Anyone saw watched the show Three-Body Problem, or even better, read the book Three-Body Problem? Yeah, if you do, okay, then you will appreciate this, right? How three celestial bodies interact, and how such interaction can be chaotic and give you all sorts of strange results, right? And then in this course that I'm teaching, you have a chance to understand a little bit deeper about what for how to simulate such a system, and yeah, and it has interesting implications and interesting results. Right. So this is just a little preview, right, of what we offer, right? So on top of what I've mentioned slightly earlier, right, we have this course called the SP313273. Shamika, what's the module name?
Shucks. Working on it.
Working on
Working on
interdisciplinary science.
Python.
Pythonically.
I just teach it. I have no idea. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this course, maybe Shamika will be able to maybe actually perhaps yeah, Shamika, can you pick over from here so that yeah, better for you.
That's very smooth.
Introduce your own course, right?
Okay. So let me try and see. Excuse me. What buttons to press to share this? So right. So well, I hope you guys can see this. Right. Um, yeah, I try not to spend too much time because we only have a little bit. It's better to have time left to have questions. So, like Dr. Lim was saying, this is about computational thinking. The thing is that so we have a whole bunch of modules, right? 6 modules, and they are essentially unique because we teach them differently, we assess them differently. The pedagogy that we use is quite different, right? So that is one of the special things about SPS, right? How we teach them. So I'll talk more about it. One thing I want to say is that this computational thinking and writing and all that is something that we have been doing for about 15 to 20 years now, right? Long before CHS required it to be a university requirement. Right? So we have a lot of experience in knowing ways to torture you with these topics, right? One thing that we focus on is fundamentals, right? Training fundamental ideas so that you can use them to in your other endeavors as well, right? So lots of how to read papers, communication, and all that. Okay, so that's the another module. Then there's Dr. Linda's module, right, about the Earth, right? How to make a habitable planet. So lots of different sciences, right? So if you notice that next year we up the ante and you start applying them to a more Dr. Lee was talking about the universe or the Earth, right? And they are very interdisciplinary. So you start using these skills, right? And that's a test, right? When you can use some skills. So that's the other thing, right? And then we end up going putting all that experience into a project module that you do on your that you can suggest that you like, right? It's a group module, and the topic can be something that you like, but it must align with one of the labs in the university, right? Or sometimes even outside, right? And this is the most rewarding aspect of the modules, I think, because you get to do your own thing and really learn how research works, right, firsthand. Okay. Oops. Right. Something happened to my computer. I hope you are still there. Right. Now, one of the most characteristic features of SPS is the mentorship program, where the senior students come back and try to mentor and share their experience and help the modules run and keep the community, um, there's connection right across the years, right? So this is one of the most important things about SPS. So once you finish your courses and all that, you can become a mentor to the juniors as well, right? So this is again one of the most rewarding aspects of SPS, right? And here are some comments from several people from right across time, right? So from 2000, right? That's like 20 or 24 years ago, to Haisian, who is now doing his PhD in Japan, right? So the whole idea is that there are a whole lot of experience, whole lot of people who are there to essentially help you and share their experience, right? So this is the mentorship program. Now, the fifth reason is that we have our modules, but again, we teach them in very novel ways and we assess in novel ways, right? Things that you might not usually experience outside of SPS, right? And it's a lot of fun, and we have a bit of freedom how to do this. So we maximize that freedom to it, right? Okay, that's reason 5, right? So again, the teaching aspect again, and we use a lot of very well researched pedagogical techniques, right? Like active learning, collaborative learning, student-centered learning, and all this stuff. Because we've been doing it for such a long time, so we use all these techniques as well. And to do all this, we are very privileged. We have a lot of facilities as well. We have our own room, we have our own lab, right? And lots of equipment, right? STMs, 3D printers. We even have telescopes and all that, right? So, and lots of space to play with. So we are very, very lucky in that sense, right? If you are
I think he disconnected.
right, am I back or?
You're back, but your slides is not back.
Oh dear. Right. Oh, Zahan, looks like you will have to take over. It's refusing to share.
But I can share.
Oh, no, I mean for real, right? I mean, so I'm at slide 22.
You're here, right? Yeah, here.
I should have done this long.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, I was at slide 22, Zahan.
You can talk. I can.
Oh, okay, right. Oh, dear. I thought I get out of this thing. So the thing is that we have a whole bunch of people across time and across the world who are who we are connected to, and it's this is a very nice thing. So lots of our students end up winning awards and prizes and all that, but they also are spread out all over the globe doing PhDs, master's programs, doing jobs, and they still keep in touch, and that's very, very nice. It's one of the I think one of the nicest things about SPS, right? So yeah, and this particular diagram that you see doesn't do justice because it's there are a lot more people at a lot more places, right? And hopefully maybe some of you will be here on this map in a couple of years, right? And then okay, I think I maybe the next one, Jahan, next slide is what?
Oh, okay.
Right, is that the one? Yeah, so this one, right? One of the most important things, right? We talk a lot about science and all that in SPS, but it's important that you realize that if you join SPS, you are not expected to become a scientist or a teacher or stay in science, right? Uh, SPS is a way for you to figure out what you like, what you want to do, right? And all of university is for that, but SPS offers you more opportunities as well, right? So whatever skills that you gain in SPS is applicable elsewhere, right? And I think that if going through SPS, you realize that you don't want to be a scientist, that's already a win, right? Because you don't want to discover that after doing a PhD. I have students who had that problem, right? So that's another important thing. So our philosophy is essentially to teach you how to be self-reliant, right? That's one of the most important things. So that's why this proverb is on the slide, right? So next we have the slide. A quick look about how SPS works, right? The modules, right? So there are four modules uh, of the six that actually can be used to satisfy the common CHS curriculum, right? The digital literacy, scientific inquiry 1 and 2, right? And the writing. Right? So the diagram that you see shows how they are scattered over the years and semesters, right? So, but again, if you want to apply to SPS, go to website, right? And there are forms to fill, and somebody will contact you for an interview, right? And so details of that is there, right? And what we're looking for more than academic achievements is enthusiasm, willing to learn new things, willing to try new things, right? And to work in a group, right? So what comes next? Right. Yes, there you go. QR codes and Instagram links. Right. 6 more minutes to ask questions as well. Okay. Any questions, comments, criticisms, complaints? So there was a question by Christopher who asked about RVRC and the SPS writing module. So if you join SPS, you must take the SPS writing module. It's mandatory that you take the 7.1 and 7.3 and 7.4.
Very likely, if you join the RVRC program, then you also need to do their courses in order to fulfill the program. Although both these two courses satisfy the same CHS requirement, yeah, you still have to take both courses because it double satisfies the program's requirement.
So there's a question about, may I ask if students can join the program in year 2? You can, right? But since 7.3 and 7.1 and 7.4 are mandatory, you would be best for you to take them in year 1, right? What qualities are interviews looking for in candidates during the group interview? Sense of humor. Um,
Okay.
no, no. So it's essentially like you said, not academic. More than academic achievements, it's more like how you solve problems, your enthusiasm, right, to learn new things. Uh, uh, yeah, those are the more important things. Actually, why don't the others answer rather than me talking?
Okay, so on top of the chat, there's this Q&A, so also answers some of the questions there. So for the interview, right, like all interviews, we have a self introduction. Okay, so wait. The interview is like a group interview. Okay, so you'll be joining another two or three people together, right, to do a group interview, right? And we'll first ask you all to self-introduce yourself, why you want to join the program. Okay, basically the interview is for us to know you better and for you to know us better, how we function, right? In a face-to-face or Zoom setting, right? And it's a 1 hour long interview, right? And then we also like you to prepare for the interview by reading a science article, right? Not a research paper, but more like a popular science article, right? And then we will have a little discussion of the science, right? In the science inside the article, right? So that's roughly how the interview process is like. Shion and Vijaya, if you have and Linda, if you have any, if you want to, you can type in the answers or share your
Okay, okay, okay. Will
the
do.
questions as well, right? All right. So if SPS results comes after course registration, how do we go about it? This is something very technical. SPS results, as in the application results, right? I suppose that's what you are asking, right? So okay. So because the SPS course satisfy the CHS core curriculum, okay, some of them, right? So you can register some of our courses irrespective whether you join SPS, irrespective of whether you are in SPS or not. Okay, so for example, you can register for SP 2274, right? Science Inquiry 1, right? If you irrespective of whether you are joining SPS or not. Okay, but even if you don't do that, right? If you are enrolled in SPS, we will make sure that you get the module. We will make sure you get the course, right? So, but if you want to take the course without being in SPS, that's possible as well. Yes, SPS in a way pre-allocate these classes. So that's the next question. If there's a timetable clash with gateway and compulsory major courses, then yes, then you will not be able to take SPS modules because you will need to take the gateway modules. But we have a system in place such that this should not happen. Our courses should not will not clash with the gateway major gateway courses. Okay, what is the intake for SPS, right? The intake for us is about 40 to 50 students a year. And the number is really because we are a small program with limited resources, right? So that's about the maximum that we can take, right? It's not that we are an elite program, okay? We are not. It's just that we have limited resources that we can, and we don't want to spread ourselves too thin. We want to have we think that interactions with is important. So we don't want to spread ourselves too thin. Okay, so the question by Gabriel, if I'm exempted from some CHS modules due to being part of the UTCP, your SPS modules that overlap count as UEs instead? Yes, I think yes, because UEs are by definition unrestricted. What's the due date for SPS application? I believe is this weekend. Will we be forced to drop out of SPS if we cannot cope? I will not use the word force, right? We are not police, we are not, okay, we don't force you, okay, we advise you, right? We will have a chat with you, right? If you are not coping well for whatever reasons, we will have a chat with you, try to understand why certain things is happening, all right? And then you make the decision, right? Most of the time, right? Unless you do something funny, right? Right. But yeah, we don't force people. We advise, give advice. We talk to you, interact. Okay, when will the SPS application result be released?
I can't remember the date. She said, but they'll be extending the application deadline, right? So
I
because
think we'll be extending it.
yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it will happen only after you have started bidding for your modules, not before. I think that's the important thing, Justin. So so there's one, when will the SPS application result that we talked?
Yeah, I'm asking the mentors.
Sorry, did you answer the UTCP question?
Yeah, I think yes.
Yes.
I
What is
messaged Gabriel as
UTCP?
well, but I think Zahan's answer was for what he was looking for.
Yeah, the UEs, right?
What is
Linda?
it? UTC? Yeah, what is UTCP?
Utown College program? I think so.
Ah, okay, okay.
So we have quite a handful of students over the years that are in the UTCP
Yeah.
program. It is possible, right? But the program itself is heavy, and on top of that, SPS courses can get quite heavy contents wise, right? So yeah.
Do you want to take the last question? Deep specialization in biology. Maybe Chion, you want to say something since you are biology?
I think beyond SPS is beyond just biology. So if you're focusing just specifically keen interest in deep biology, then ideally SPS may not be the most ideal place for you. But if you're interested in going beyond biology to something that's more interdisciplinary, as well as more focus into research, then SPS will be something that you enjoy most definitely.
To add to that, we don't advocate SPS for everyone, right? Because, and it's a very good question. People who are only focusing on one major and are not interested, I don't think SPS is suitable because you might suffer through the other modules and it's not the point, right? And now you can take so many modules. Also, you have to compare. There was a good question, is SPS a common science program? It is. but beyond, you could do all the modules separately outside, right? So you have to think, why do you want to go to SPS and not do mix match your own thing? Because you can take all the modules you want now with CHS, right? So if you want to be a part of our community, network with our type of students, and challenge yourself, this is why you want to come to SPS, because the level we'll do in SPS will be a bit higher than outside. So the community, the mentoring, the way we teach beyond the content of the modules is what you have to think. Because the content of the module now, you can mix match everywhere in the university, right? So you have to think. And of course, we do more, we have the research as well. So you'll be working through this with all your peers. Do we do the course registration, the clash?
No, they will not be automatically dropped, I think. All right. We will sort this out at a later date during the add drop phase or appeal phase of the course registration, right? Okay, we cross the bridge when it comes, right? So you can still before you get your admission results yet, all right? Before you get admission results, you can still register for the courses that you want to take, okay, as if you are not taking SPS, right? Even if there's timetable clashes, you can do that, right? And then when we offer you if you have applied for SPS and you get offered by us, then you have to make a choice whether to do SPS or not, all right? And if you intend to do SPS, then we will advise you accordingly to how to add or drop the courses that you have taken earlier. Drop the courses that you have taken earlier, and so that you free up some space to free up the time for us to fit our SPS course in. It's not, in short, it's not automatic. You have to do something, but we will advise you then.
More questions? Is it until 3:30 or 3?
I don't know. Let me check. But yeah, any other questions? I'm still waiting for my head mentors to get back to me on the application results release. My memory is failing me. Okay, on when the application results will be released, I think it's about late July, if I'm not wrong.
I would say that the last question, what are some benefits of graduating from SPS when I enter the workforce? SPS is not like a minor. It will not appear in your transcript. You will have, maybe it does, no, but it's not like a minor or a major, right? So HR does not really recognize, in your CV SPS. However, we do have, because this program is more than 20 years, right? We do have a network of people working all over, studying and working all over the world. So it's like a network, it's like a community. So you will have, alumni, mentors. You can also use the expertise. when you enter the workforce, to have some connections. But it's not going to be the same as having a minor or a major. It's not as broad. It's more maybe niche, or you're building up your network. And often it's very useful to be close linked with your cohort. I don't know if you want to add, anyone wants to add something about the benefits when you enter the workforce, having SPS in your CV.
Well, I would say that it's more than having it on a piece of paper, that the experience that you get in SPS is very unique. You have, in addition to the community that you will be helping you, how we do things, how we run things are very different. All the CHS is very similar in many ways. We have a lot of autonomy to experiment and do things differently, right? So, yeah, I think the community aspect of it is something that you will benefit in very subtle ways.
And the way of thinking, I would say that you benefit when you compare year 3 in SPS and outside. I can tell you there is a difference, because what you have achieved in 2 years in SPS, when you arrive in year 3, you definitely you know what you want and what you don't want. Very specific. You know what you're looking for. Year 3, you are not, I mean, of course, you can still be searching yourself, but you have very strong foundations to move on faster, and very maybe more determined on looking what you want before the workforce. I think there is a benefit at the end of the content lecture or the curriculum after year 2. Of course, you stay with us mentoring, which adds up to your experience for the workforce. So by year 4, I see most undergrads are more mature and more open and less scared to go to the workforce.
And don't forget that those of the SPS students who take up mentoring start building up leadership skills and interpersonal skills from a different point of view, right? When you're a student, you have mentors helping you, and when you start mentoring, it's a different perspective. So you start figuring out how to run small groups, how to advise them, and so this is quite unique in that sense. So again, the benefits are more subtle.
Yeah, and having a line in your CV that says you graduated from SPS probably won't like give you a higher chance,
Yeah.
unless, right, the employer is from SPS. Oh, SPS, okay, then you automatically. Right? But what we offer is a program that we believe, right, help you a lot in your personal growth and development. Right? We provide exposure, provide subject you to single prolonged stress, right? Stuff like that. Okay, so your personal growth and development will be accelerated, and you'll be more exposed to things, and you get a head start in many ways.
Okay, Dux, is that it?
Okay, maybe one last question, right? What would the process of taking SPS mods instead of CHS ones be like? You have to, okay. There are two questions, right? What would be the process of taking SPS mods? I assume that is what the registration process, or okay, if it's the registration process, then it's the same, right? Okay, no, it's not the same. Okay, so for CHS core curriculum, you're typically assigned, right? You're assigned them, right, based on your metric number, right? So you either fall into this group or that group, then you're assigned these courses, right? But if you want to take SPS courses to replace them, right, you can do so, right? So you just you just have to either just register for SPS courses, and then if the administrative people see that already, then they will not assign the CHS courses to them. Okay, but if the administrative already assigned you the CHS courses, you can always appeal, right? It's a simple process, just appeal online to drop those modules and take the SPS modules, right? So it's not very complicated. Maybe I'm making it sound more complicated than it is, right? But there's this period where you can drop those courses that you are allocated and then take SPS courses.
Hey, Dr. Lim, I think the result will be released on 24th July.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, so this one is to the a very early question where the when is the SPS admission results released? 24th, right, Sean? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I think you can always still ask questions via our email, all right, which I'll type on the chat. All right, and yeah, hope to see everyone
Soon in SPS.
in NUS soon.
Thank you, everyone.